Step with me into an American grocery store in the 1970s. The first surprise is not what you see, but what you do not. No barcodes, no self-checkout, no bottled water stacked to the ceiling, no cold machine voice rushing you along. What waits here is something slower, warmer, and deeply human. Grocery shopping was not just buying food, it was part of family life, part of the week, part of being there with other people. So find a quiet place, stay with me, and let these old images of 1970s America carry you back. Watch closely, remember gently, and if this journey speaks to you, please subscribe to History Daily Life, like, and share this video with someone who remembers. The look of a 1970s grocery store is one of those things people remember in feelings before they remember it in facts. The colors were soft, earthy, and unmistakable. Avocado green, harvest gold, burnt orange, and deep browns seemed to live on every box, every sign, every wall panel. Under the bright fluorescent lights, polished linoleum floors gave off a quiet shine that made the whole place feel clean, steady, and familiar. These stores were smaller than the giant supermarkets we know today, yet somehow they felt fuller, richer, and more personal. They did not feel like retail machines built to move people through as fast as possible. They felt more like a public living room, a place where ordinary American life unfolded one cart, one aisle, one quiet conversation at a time. And that warmth is part of what so many people still miss. In the 1970s, grocery shopping did not begin under fluorescent lights. It began at the kitchen table. The weekly newspaper would arrive filled with store inserts, special prices, and coupons worth saving. Many families sat down with scissors, envelopes, and a pencil, carefully clipping what they needed and comparing one store against another. Safeway might have the better price on coffee, while Kroger or A&P might be cheaper on canned vegetables or meat. Lists were written by hand, often in neat categories, because every trip had to count. Gas was expensive, inflation was real, and for many households the food budget demanded thought and discipline. This was not impulsive shopping. It was planning, managing, stretching, and providing. In a very real way, it was part of caring for a family, and that quiet ritual is something many people still remember with deep respect. What many people remember most about a 1970s grocery store is not a brand name or a price. It is the smell. The moment those doors opened, you stepped into a world of fresh ground coffee from the store grinder, floor wax on polished linoleum, cardboard boxes stacked in the back, earthy potatoes in open bins, and that faint, unmistakable scent drifting from the butcher shop. Every store seemed to carry its own version of that mixture, and once you knew it, you never forgot it. The sound was just as distinct. Soft, easy listening music floated overhead, often instrumental versions of popular songs, calm and unhurried. Then came the steady rhythm of the price stamper, that thud clack on cans and boxes, a sound that belonged to an age before scanners and digital beats. It was a living soundtrack to ordinary American life. What do you think about this part of the story? Does it awaken something in you? Please leave a comment and share your thoughts. I find it deeply fascinating, and I would truly love to hear your wonderful perspective. The produce section in a 1970s American grocery store was smaller, simpler, and far more tied to the season outside. You did not expect to find everything every month of the year. In winter, certain fruits and vegetables simply were not there, and people accepted that without much complaint. There were no plastic tubs of pre-washed greens, no neatly sealed clamshells, no polished abundance designed for display. Instead, you saw open bins of apples, onions, potatoes, cabbage, and whatever else the season and the region could honestly provide. Shoppers reached in with their own hands, turning over each piece of fruit, choosing carefully, judging by feel as much as appearance. Nearby stood the old mechanical scale, where produce was weighed and priced with a quiet, practical rhythm. It may not have looked as perfect as today, but it felt more real, more grounded, and closer to the natural world that still set the terms of everyday American life. At the butcher counter, grocery shopping in 1970s America still felt unmistakably human. You took a number and waited your turn, standing before a glass case while the butcher worked in a white apron, surrounded by fresh cuts and the quiet confidence of real skill. This was not a place of sealed plastic trays and silent convenience. People spoke directly to the man behind the counter. They asked what would be best for a Sunday roast, how thick the steaks should be cut, whether the ground beef had enough fat for flavor. He answered from experience, and often cut the meat right there in front of you, then wrapped it carefully in butcher paper. Regular customers were remembered. Familiar faces were greeted a little more warmly, and sometimes served a little more generously. In that small exchange there was trust, dignity, and community, and that is part of what so many people still miss today. The center aisles of a 1970s American grocery store were where practicality met childhood wonder. Shelf after shelf rose up with canned vegetables, soups, beans, fruit cocktail, tomato sauce, and every kind of pantry staple a family might need to get through the week. But for children, this was also where the store came alive. Bright cereal boxes stared down from above with smiling mascots, bold colors, and promises of sweetness that felt almost magical. Cap'n Crunch, Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, Count Chocula. For many families, these boxes were as memorable as any toy. Nearby sat Tang, Jell-O, snack cakes, soda, pudding mixes, and Swanson TV dinners in their foil trays, all part of a new kind of convenience that was beginning to reshape American life. Children looked up at those shelves and begged. Parents hesitated and sometimes gave in. That little drama played out in grocery stores all across the country. It is a happy memory for many, but also a tender one, because those aisles held not just food, but the look and feeling of childhood itself. But memory can be gentle, and it can also be honest. Grocery shopping in 1970s America was not always easy. Inflation hit hard across the decade, and families felt it in the most ordinary place of all, the supermarket aisle. Prices rose, paychecks felt smaller, and for many households, the weekly grocery trip became the biggest math problem of the week. People compared brands, counted coupons, and stood in front of the shelves doing quiet calculations in their heads. That was also the era when generic products began to appear in a serious way. Plain white cans and boxes with simple black lettering that read corn, tuna, or peaches. No cheerful mascots, no bright promises, no extra charm. Just the product, stripped down to its bare minimum. Many children understood what those labels meant without anyone needing to explain it. They were a quiet sign that money was tight, and yet that, too, is part of the truth people remember. The 1970s were not perfect, but they were real, and in that reality there was resilience, discipline, and a kind of everyday dignity that still speaks to many of us now. By the time you reached the checkout line in a 1970s American grocery store, the trip had its own kind of rhythm and ceremony. The cashier stood at a heavy mechanical register and entered every price by hand, reading the stamped numbers one by one with astonishing speed. The sound was unforgettable, a quick chorus of clicks, clacks, and the sharp ring of the drawer opening. At the end of the lane, bag boys packed groceries into sturdy brown paper bags with real care, heavy cans on the bottom, bread and eggs on top, building each bag so it would survive the ride home. And then came one of the most beloved rituals of all, S and H green stamps. For many families, those little green stamps felt like a reward for being careful and responsible. Children took them home, licked the backs, and pressed them into stamp books one square at a time, dreaming of what they might someday redeem. It was a small ritual, but it carried real excitement. Even loading those bags into the trunk felt like bringing home more than food. It felt like bringing home the week ahead. On the 26th of June 1974, in Troy, Ohio, the first barcode was scanned in an American supermarket. One small beep may have sounded harmless, but it marked the beginning of a different world. Little by little, the grocery store moved away from a human marketplace and became a faster, more automated system. And yet, when I think about this story, I do not believe what people truly miss is only the lower prices. I think we miss the time, the slower rhythm, the presence of other people, the quiet dignity of ordinary life, and the feeling that even a simple trip for groceries belonged to the community. The squeaky cart, the smell of fresh ground coffee, the weight of brown paper bags on the kitchen counter, the family dinner that followed. This video was made from real historical materials and trusted sources, with no intention to provoke or divide, only to remember honestly. What do you feel after watching this? Do you think life today has lost something or gained something too? Please share your thoughts so we can remember and reflect together. If this meant something to you, please subscribe to History Daily Life, like, and share this video. I will see you in the next one.